Welcome everyone to another startup and complete car documentation. What we have here is a 2020 Chevrolet Trax Premier. This Trax is painted in Summit White. Smart key access on the front doors, chrome accented door handles. On the key fob, you have the buttons for lock, unlock, remote start, and panic. The front door panels have storage areas. This one does have a premium Bose sound system, and it sounds incredible. Excellent bass. And of course you get power windows, locks, and mirrors. It has a jet black interior, and the Premier trim adds full leatherette seating surfaces. I love the brown stitching. Now you do get a powered driver's seat, almost fully powered. Seat bottom is fully powered, and you also have two-way lumbar power, but the seat back is still manual. But now that we're behind the wheel, let's go ahead and start the engine. It, of course, has push-button start. The Trax is the smallest SUV that Chevy offers, and it competes in that subcompact crossover segment that really blew up in popularity in the past decade or so. The Trax made its debut in the US market for the 2015 model year, and as of the 2024 model year is now in its second generation. This 2020 we have here represents the first generation Chevy Trax, codenamed U200, which was produced in the US market from model years 2015 through 2022. However, the Trax had actually already been on sale internationally, including in Canada and Mexico, since 2013. The first generation Trax rode on GM's Gamma 2 platform, which also underpinned the Chevy Sonic subcompact car. The Trax was introduced alongside a couple of platform siblings, namely the first generation Buick Encore and the first gen Opel and Vauxhall Mocha, sold mainly in Europe, as GM did own Opel and Vauxhall at the time. While the Buick Encore was pretty much cosmetically identical to its European Opel and Vauxhall counterparts, being pretty much a rebadge, the Chevy Trax did get some of its own unique styling to set itself apart. It's also worth noting that while the Trax didn't arrive in the United States until 2015, that was not the case with the Buick Encore, as the Encore went on sale in the US in 2013. Anyhow, the first generation Chevy Trax got its biggest update for the 2017 model year in the form of a mid-cycle facelift. Most notably, the car got a newly restyled, more modern-looking front end, as well as a substantially redesigned interior. On top of that, it also got some more standard safety and tech features, and the LTZ trim was renamed to Premier. Anyhow, the US market 2020 model year Trax was offered in 3 trim levels: the base LS, the mid-range LT, and the range-topping Premier like this one. Although 2020 was the last year for the Trax Premier, as 21s and 22s came as just LS and LT. Just one sole engine and transmission combo was offered in US 2020 Trax models, that being a 1.4-liter turbo inline-4 with 138 horsepower, paired up with a 6-speed automatic. As for drivetrains, all trims could be had with either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, the latter of which being what this one has. Starting with the instrument cluster, we have 2 analog gauges, which are your tachometer and speedometer. Fuel gauge is right here, and then you also have a digital info display, which can be gone through via the controls on the turn signal stalk. So you have your digital speed readout, trip computers, range, and your oil life, tire pressure, that kind of stuff. At the time of filming, this one has 7,495 miles. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped and multifunctional steering wheel, sport grips, and as for controls, on this side you have your audio controls, together with your hands-free phone, or Bluetooth, and voice command controls. Then on this side you'll find a cruise control, along with this button, which is for the gap adjust for your forward collision alert. The steering wheel is tilt and telescopic. Storage area for the driver, panel dimmer, headlight switch, fog light button, climate vent for the driver. On this side is your high beam, turn signal, and information display stock. While on this side is your wiper stock. So going down the center of the interior, you have your central climate vents. Got the touchscreen interface for your MyLink infotainment system. We'll go over the system more in a bit. Hazards, traction control, on or off, and with this you can turn on or off your lane departure warning. From there, you'll find a set of single zone climate controls. Just push on these two knobs to activate your heated front seats. Passenger airbag indicator, you get an aux port, 2 USB-A ports, and a 12-volt power outlet. Storage in front of the shifter. Putting it in reverse does reveal a backup camera with guidance lines. Three cup holders, actually 4, counting the rear one. Parking brake is hand operated, and the driver's seat does get an armrest. Both Sunvisors do have vanity mirrors and lights. Auto dimming rear view mirror with OnStar. Grab handles at all 4 corners. Your overhead lighting, and then you have your power sunroof controls. Now here is the MyLink infotainment system. It's 2020 Trax Premier. You have your audio. Your sources are AM, FM, Sirius XM plus Bluetooth audio streaming. Sound settings. This is your home screen right here. Your audio info right now, phone stuff, and some shortcuts along the bottom. Your Wi-Fi hotspot. Many settings. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto in here. OnStar services. Not really that much to this system. No navigation or anything like that, but it's a pretty simple, responsive screen. I like the black piano trim here. Gives it more of a premium look, along with this stitched leather appearance. But now we'll have a look at the engine bay and roll down the driver's window. All 4 windows are automatic down, and the driver's one is automatic up as well. The Trax Premier comes with these 18-inch 5-split-spoke alloy rims. Under the hood of the Trax is GM's Ecotec 1.4-liter turbocharged inline-4 engine. It has an iron block with an aluminum head, along with dual overhead camshafts, 4 valves per cylinder, and variable valve timing. Horsepower is rated at 138 at 4,900 RPM, while torque is rated at 148 pound-feet at 1850 RPM. power in this Trax is sent to all four wheels with the available all-wheel drive system, and the transmission is a 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability. Running on regular unleaded with a 14-gallon fuel tank, EPA estimates for an all-wheel drive Trax are 24 mpg in the city and 29 mpg on the highway. It has a McPherson strut front suspension and a torsion beam rear suspension. Stopping all-wheel drive Trax models are 4-wheel disc brakes. Curb weight for this one rounds up to roughly 3,300 pounds. Roof racks, storage on the back door panels as well. (60/40) split folding rear seats. Both front seats have mat pockets in the backs, coat hooks, rear passengers do get a cup holder right here, a household style power outlet, as well as a folding center armrest with 2 more cup holders. So I'm about 6'1", and I put the driver's seat in a comfortable driving position for myself. Did quite a bit of adjusting, but I got a comfortable driving position. But leg room is just okay. My legs are kind of up against the seat. Foot room is actually pretty good though. Headroom is pretty good too. Headliner raises up. Crossovers tend to have better headroom than sedans anyway, but it's not the most spacious back here, but this is, you know, a subcompact vehicle, and if you don't plan on constantly having a family in here, constantly having a bunch of people riding around in, it's probably not going to be big of a deal. And it's a pretty decent sized back seat, you know, not that uncomfortable. Just not all that spacious either. Single exhaust, rear wiper, the Trax offers 18.7 cubic feet of cargo space with the back seats up. Folding down the back seats increases space to 48.4 cubic feet. Spare. And as you saw earlier, the fuel cap is on the passenger side. Anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2020 Chevrolet Trax. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.